everyone, I am Palpatine001 aka the Senate, and we are back with City Skylines 2, Waikato and 4.1, a review and some expansion, but some catches along the way. In 4.0, we let the simulator rip, and away the town went. That's good news, but there's also a bit of roll my eyes news on the way out with it. That is, I wasn't expecting the town to get... I was expecting the town to move from its founding stage to a small town stage of 21,000, which means you were allowed to do some straightforward expansion. By expansion, I don't mean adding things on like the waterfront here and some low rent housing here, but more pushing towards Little Britain, where you're doing some larger greenfield expansions. So basically into here. And the reason for that is we've got more jobs and people. So basically what I want to do before engaging on a major expansion, say like the city centre, and that's going to have to come up sooner rather than later because we've hit the medium city stage already, or large town, whichever way you want to put it. But basically, yeah, it would be doing a greenfield extension in here, which is done nicely, contained by the highway, the public transport, and the railway. And that basically gives me enough residential population to have basically all the jobs filled and all the productions working efficiently, because at the moment they're not, because there's open jobs at the moment. Now we've got surplus across all the raw resources, but deficits in the manufacturing, which is processed goods. In some cases, one has it. Basically, we just don't have the workers to have production at full power, which then affects your services, commercial services, which is why you start getting this. And then you also start hearing everyone whinge about not enough people. Yeah, irony, I know. So, in this one, we will basically extend through here, and that should give enough residential population to sustain what we've got, which also includes the extraction industry, the rural industries, including fish, manufacturing, and logistics, and the extraction industries over here. Now, what has made this a little bit more complex is the city has grown this town has grown so quickly, Waikato has grown so quickly, and this is based on the Elizabeth County map, Virginia, in the United States. Just quick fire, so I've adapted to my own. This is the Waikato River, flowing into some bay, flows out into some gulf, that flows out into some ocean. Down here we have the Waipa River, which joins the Waikato here, and out it goes. In real life, the Waikato and the Waipa join together in a little town called Ngāwhakia, my former workplace, and then flows out to the Tasman Sea. So, yeah, we've gone up to large town status, small city status already. So that means I need some major infrastructure work. Basically, we're ready to take on the ports, a small airport, and ready to get the city centre off the ground. And that's determined by the office. If we look at the demand bars, yeah, basically the residential is stymiling things a little bit. So yeah, we've just got to get it going. So this will be all low density residential. And then what I've also got to factor in the expansion of where the resources are. So more ore, farming, ore, forestry, farming, ore, forestry, oil. So your main oil is over here, which is convenient because there's your offshore oil, and your port is going in here and in here. If I want to do farming close in, if I don't turn that all into industry, it could go in here with a little bit of help of doing some fertilizer. But given this big thing here on the outskirts of town, unlikely. It'll probably be more residential to support the industry and the ports. So I've got to bear that all in mind. Now we've got two new mods. Now one's going to help the review very nicely. Now I've done a video on that, and that's using the beta test driving mod, which basically, now you know, if you've ever watched my series, I will follow buses around, trains around, rockets, planes, you name it. This one allows me to commandeer a vehicle or a cyclist, and I can do it myself. So we might do that as part of the review to show what's going on. Also, yeah, we will do that expansion. So yeah, that's the first one. The other one is elections. We have the democracy mod. Yes, you can elect a mayor. Does the mayor take over from me? No. Remember, I am Palpatine001, aka I am the Senate. Yes, I love democracy, I love the Republic, but the mayor is strictly a procedural person. They look after procedures. Everything else is dealt with by done by me, and it all stops at me. Okay. Okay, and so I've turned it all on, and so we've got that. So that's gonna play out rather interestingly. I can't wait to see what happens. So this is just a transitional mayor until things are going. But otherwise, the city, the town, small city now, is functioning well, and we've fixed up the problems there here. Here, if this is gonna continue to jam, I might just turn this into a pedestrian mall and be done with it, and just take the parking out and put the parking buildings somewhere else. We'll see how it goes. Problem is, I still think we've still got a lot of people moving in, which actually initially upsets the traffic, and then it stabilizes out. The Chicago houses are absolutely wonderful because they have their garages backing onto the alleyway with their primary entrances backing onto the front. It means no car interactions, people involvement, extension of living rooms, Great fun. But I've also just got to be careful when I do my playing urban designers. Just watch that I don't put if I do these narrow passage pedestrian ways, I don't put high density American or European high density in there unless it's the German or UK set, because that is quite intimidating. It actually looks more aesthetically pleasing with the German. Oh yep, and there's the city centre bus station, and you can hear all the city noises that go with it. Now the reason why we also had backups in this area is, I don't know what is it with the content creators or the game creators, it is a bit of a pet peeve, is these station assets are too small. Now, I've got a mod asset that allows my trams to be 5 and 6 car sets. They don't fit here, so they cause phenomenal backups and pathfinding errors, which is just cascades through the system. So I'm restricted to 4 car sets. If I am doing the big 6 car sets, applies to subways as well. They have to basically stay out on the road, which is a bit annoying, but it's not a big thing. I just got to watch my transit planning just ever so more. But yes, with us hitting medium town stage so early, large town, small city stage, I'm going to be spending a lot of time, and I'll do it off screen and then run you through it, and then just let the simulator rip on establishing things like ports and getting the railways all stitched up in that. Because basically we need to bring the cargo ports online sooner rather than later. And I need to bring a second one around. And I don't think I can because of the way this has been set up. Could do if I pull these back in and run them through here to allow a connection out to here. Actually, I will do that. Excuse me a minute, I will just do this very quickly. Now, the reason why I've done that, pulled them back, I'm doing a Public Works Act situation, is the railway to get the cargo going around the other way instead of running through the city centre or running around the other side of the map. just pause that for the moment. Okay, don't want a connection. Sweet. Sweet, that allows that to happen. So what I can do here is cargo-wise, also technically passenger train-wise, but I won't. It's not needed. Oh, it's going to allow it? Have I got anarchy off? Ever so. I'll redo that because that actually is not realistic. So what I'll do quickly is... Yeah, it's not pretty, but it works. So basically that allows the cargo to come out through this direction. Otherwise, excuse me, it has to run all the way down through the city centre and out, or do a very long loop. And if I've got all my raw resources out here, that is not particularly wise. So yeah, I will have to do a lot of infrastructure expansion off screen in preparation for 5.0 before we can even start zoning. This is because we've hit that 50,000 mark so quickly. Which basically brings us into the expansion. So we'll do here, we'll just do auto density because that's all it needs to be. We'll do it off the southwestern America. We'll actually do it in two. I'll do southwestern and UK. So I'll alternate between. No, I won't actually. North American, southwestern. No, we're on the other side of the motorway. UK and Eastern European. We'll do those ones. So basically fill all this in. So let me just put the mic on mute and we'll get this cracking. Okay, so we've set it all up. So we've got the two sides because we've actually got a big as hill in here. If I was to bring up the terraforming, you can actually see it shows up here that you actually have to tunnel underneath. And you have to go around, which serves as a nice breaking point. You've got a valley through here too. So we'll actually run this on the Eastern European theme between here and here. And we've set all the infrastructure up. There's just some little bits I've done. But you can tell that the centre's going to be here. We've got the railway station here with a subway connection. And we've got a subway connection here that falls back through this way. Which just leaves me having to do the bus routes. Now, when I set the bus route, the basic bus route's going to pop up, down, down, down. It can cross this way and come over in. And then down to the train station. And sorry, we've got back out. Back across. I do not want buses crossing the pinch points of here and here. There's no need to because the subway line carries it over. There's cycleways that also carry it over. And eventually we'll have the railway doing the super long distance as well. So there's no need for it to... for it to cross the motorway checkpoints. when I've already got subway and metro and heavy rail that can do it. Now, before we carry on, there's two things I need to just make sure we just do properly. Just reinforce the water lines. Yeah, so they're there already, but it's just basically reinforcing it, and then we go back to the electricity, so we don't get bottlenecks in the system. And I will connect it to also, because it will go both ways in this cases. I will push in this one because it also boosts telecommunications. I will push in a substation. Connect it up. I think we could do a little bit better than that. So that's that done. So that just allows that to come in, and I think, is that pushing it below? No, because the railway lines have actually dropped underneath because it's a sunken station, so it technically doesn't interfere with it, but I can hear that. Yeah, it should be okay. And then what I can then do from here is, and that just upgrades that, which then leaves the last part to do, because I've got the post office in. Yes, my Sims still love to use the post. Huh, miss. Oops. There's a post office there, so you can shove one up there. And then that basically what that leads me to do is, well, I could shove one in here, is I will slap in the bus stops now. So this is a European set, so I like doing these with the bike stands. I'll do parks and the bike parking after I've done the zoning, so I've got an idea of what is going where. Right. So basically we will start from the other direction. Okay, so it comes out. Now this is only a 3-1, so we don't want anything major. So he comes out and over. So you'll want one. Remember, these have got cycle parks, so these are. So one there. Then you'll want one here and here. Then one here. One here. And we'll continue moving down. So come down, so you'll want it. I've also just got to realize, where's the bus stop? There. And there. Now this is where it gets interesting, because that's a one-way. So he would come up and about, and then loop back out again. When he's coming that way, that's just a case of up and over. So he comes up, loops. He can go up the parking road, not desirable, because they get jammed. So he can come in there. Then he comes back out and connects to the bus station there. So that's fine. And then when you go from the bus station, you go back up. That's a straight one, and out you go. So that's basically done. In this instance, chucking an extra one in here, because it will also serve as a waypoint, is not a bad idea. And if you want to know what these look like, and we've seen them before when I drop into first person mode. And this is the American, this is the European one. The American, North American ones are more square. In this instance, that now also warrants... The wrong one. It actually warrants the introduction of a bus lane. Where... That depends which way he is coming down, actually. This is it. It helps with the waypoints. Alright. One thing I've not done, because I'm not the biggest fans of them for various reasons. Don't need cargo on the side. We're too small. Is there a taxi stand on this side? No, they don't do taxi stops, so that's a little bit. So we will put in taxi stands. Although most taxis do pick up and go, so it's not really a major one, but they're still good to have. I still see them get used. And do we have... I do think we do have a taxi depot. Yeah, so I don't need to worry about that. Okay, so that leaves the setting up of the routes, zones, parks, and dumb. We let the simulator rip, and then I'll see if we've got time to do that. That review, driving from basically all the way down here, pick a road, likely this one, although it's not the, and somehow get onto the highway and jump somewhere over here, and then yeah, we'll see what happens from there. And the subway's already online. Okay, so up we go. Okay, this is where your waypointing certainly helps. He has to do a bit of a so-called feedback loop. Okay, out he goes again. And that basically feeds in between the train station and the metro station, so going both directions across the map, depending where you need to go. So that's it's a bus line. Okay, go for a scroll. Okay. 8 buses should be enough. $3. Real original naming. Real original naming there, anyway. I had named that station, didn't I? Yeah, it has. It's just been a bit derpy. That happens. Right. As soon as I stop playing around with the controls, that leaves the last component, zones and parks. So we need commercial. Go commercial first. Eastern European. Okay. Where is... Okay. Yep. Oh, actually, before I do that, we'll... Hahaha. Is it not going to fit? Nope. Yes. Ooh, that's a bit of a loop. So that could be a case of, that ain't going to happen. So we drop down to... That should be more than enough. Yep. Anyway. Distractions. Eastern European. So here. And here. Now that is... comes out, and that will just be plain because of what it is. Okay. And that leaves now... We swing back over. Eastern European. Mixed use. So you're wanting to knock out 2 with 1 stone. Okay. Then we'll do some more straight... straight commercial. Okay, and then that leaves me now to go back over. Eastern European again. Okay, I do want low rent housing, and I do want it close to the transit stations. They're not obtrusive, so I don't need to so-called panic about them. It's okay. So that's fine. So you've got the set in here. And then this would be another good set to do here. And then I might as well just go that. Okay. Leave that for now. Leave that for now. Actually, that would be good in office setting. Yeah, I don't want that either. Yeah, no, man. Not really. So that would be good for office space, and not really much else. Okay, back to Eastern European. Okay, that's good for, again, low rent. Is it? I am going to set this as, ironically, medium. Now, what I've got to be cautious of, I believe they do not have parking, which means... Okay, so that sets that back up, and then we can go back to Eastern European. Okay. Maybe a bit of mixed use in here. Continue low density. Okay. Now we're coming back into the interior. So this would be medium. Okay, that leaves that for... I will actually... some small amount of high density. Now those are the bus routes. So I've got to be... So I will do that, but... Well, I've got to just make sure there's no buses coming off the other side. Okay, so that allows for that. Okay, and then what I will actually redo is reset that to Eastern European. Don't need much high density, otherwise it's going to look rather out of place rather quickly. And we don't want that. So to allow scale down, we go medium. Remember, I've still got to do the bike parks and the bike parking. So they still need to happen as well. Plenty of mixed use, which then means I can continue with okay, and that's pretty much sorted as far as that is concerned. That leaves me to do bikes and bike parking, which I will quickly do now. So one moment. Okay, so one more thing to do, then we get going. Most of it's already been done, so I shouldn't need to do much more of it. And that's basically just setting up the so-called bicycle parking. So I shouldn't need too much of it, and I can always so do it as we go. And And you don't need a lot of it in the... You don't need a lot of it in the... in the residential. It's more in your mixed use areas than anything else. Because the bus stops already have them, residents already have them. And most transit stations have them as well. So, as I said, it's not a... not a major as in of itself. So the areas I'm looking for is down here where it could be insufficient. All right, we're done. And we'll let it rip. And away we go. That's going to take a little bit to pull through. Oh, I do actually want to. I'm just wondering. Added signature building. You know what? Sod it. Put it in there. Because that actually... yeah, that'll be fine. So away all that goes. That's interesting. I didn't exactly order coaches to be used. So as I mentioned earlier, with the driving mod, you've still got the traditional way, which is getting in a... excuse me. And letting it do its thing. But the other one is we commandeer a vehicle. And we do it ourselves. This is going to take a little while to come through, and it's all coming through very nicely. But what we might do, and this is either going to work or it's going to backfire miserably, is I'm going to find a vehicle that is not a service vehicle. Ah. Here we go. Okay, let's turn this on. Oh, we've got a taxi. I did not want the taxi. Alrighty. Turn that off. Let's go for a drive, and I probably need to get my bearings first on where we are. So I need to Oh, I know where we are. Yeah. Oh, did I just bang the car? Yes. Oops. Well, it's a good thing to see all the pedestrians. So I'm not gonna have a exact whinge about that. I've just actually got to just get my bearings onto where are we? Am I going down towards? Oh yeah, no. If that's where I've just built, then that's okay. So that's fine. So basically, what I need to do is actually use the other controls because I'm actually ambidextrous in real life. So I like using my left hand for these controls. So that's fine. What we'll do is we'll just hit the roundabout, load a jank, avoid the car, head back the other way. I need to get used to these controls, so I need to do a lot more practice at this. So basically head to the other end. There are the bridges. Ah, yeah, I know we are. We're heading to the road I want to go to. Because there's the nuclear power plant in the back on the other side of the river. Let's close that off. And like that demands through the roof. Ah, yeah, here we go. There's the river. There's the rail bridge. There's the nuka. And that's actually where we came out of. And if I failed to give away to a pedestrian, oops. Ah, yes, here we are. That is what we're looking for. I've just built residential, but we're still backfilling a lot of jobs. And remember, I've also just added more jobs. But as I said right at the beginning of the video, we've got to do a big expansion because we've gone over the 50,000 mark already. In that case, that will be a case of demolishing. Ah, there's the road we want. Wow, okay. That is nuts. That means... Okay. We're off. I need to work on the sensitivities. Bus lane, stay out of the bus lane. Just got under a bridge. One of many that we'll be passing under. Pedestrian. Another big bridge. City of Bridges. That's because the bus has to pull out and turn. Oh, and I've got to wait for another phase. Oh dear. That's because pedestrian. Oh yeah, I haven't activated pedestrian only, so we've got pedestrians crossing through. Alright, another bridge. All the northeastern and southwestern urban types. Red light, probably because it's a cycleway path. I'm racing a garbage truck. Can hear the subway below me, the metro below me. Whoa! Crazy vehicles. Ooh. Wow. The service vehicles are... And I'm in the bus lane now illegally. Oh my god. Oh guys, get out of it. I would have written my vehicle off more than once. It's coming up to Russia. I'm back in the bus lane again. Scooters. Gotta just about go through every intersection off screen and make sure the traffic signals are optimized. Bloody taxis. There's a tram behind. I might have an idea to move that parking building. It's causing more problems than it's worth. Oh, wow. Okay. Gee. For my drivers were bad. Auckland drivers were bad. Maybe I should have taken the motorway next time. Just absolutely honk it through. Oh, this is all the low rent housing, the French low rent housing. You know. Crazy house. Oh, damn! That's a full whip around because that's it's a bus only on ramp, off ramp. Get out of it. Yeah, there we go. We're back on the main road. Uh-huh. We'll quieten down now because I've come out of the busy centre and I'm heading over to the industrial district. Oh, nice and quiet. And I can start to hear the industry. Factory workers waiting to go home. And we still need a lot more workers. I cut across, it should bring me to a little bit of luck. Might have to do a little bit of cutting across first. That's a bus lane. That's the railway station there. And the subway, of course, and the metro again, of course. I've missed it prematurely. Oh god, no, take on a truck. Because they come flying round. It's the cereal factory. And all my demands back up. Go all the trucks. So the industry is currently to my right. Now, where is this going to take me if I move to the left and try and not crash into everything? Oh, okay. Is that interesting? Am I not ever going to get across because of... No, this is going to let me come over. Okay. I was just wondering if I was just having fun with the bridges, that's all. Seemed it was. And yeah, I am going to cut across the barrier. There's a cereal plant. Oh, coming into night time. Ah, there it is. Just out of curiosity before I jump on it. It was there, so where did it... Which road is it using? Well, that's interesting. Doing 19 miles an hour on a highway is... That's gonna peeve a lot of people off. In fact, I was expecting the vehicle to go a lot faster. I don't think I'm going to be swinging out to the other side of the map. Not on a vehicle like this. There goes the sun. Summer's day. Balmy 26. Okay. Remind me to remember the maps of my own city next time. And there we go into nighttime. Still need a lot more residential. I'll have to check the job stats on where everything is at. Wow, okay. This doesn't do any EVs any wonders, does it? Phew, those trucks move. So we're in the rural sector. So forestry is to my right and farming is to my left. You might see those big stacks in the background. Those are the extractors. Oh, there's the highway. We're nearly there. Oh, they're celebrating. Yeah, we're just about to cross over now. Up and over we go. Yep, trees on a roundabout, on a bridge. Because reasons. Down the other side. Over some water. And that's the extraction industry. Yeah, 26 at night. Whew, that's a stinker. Oil industry, and then stone ore and coal further up. I am going to release him. He'll turn around and go home. Basically, that's just going to feed into here. So, just looking back, I was coming down through here. So where does that highway run out? There. Oh, so I was running from behind. So I was coming... And that would feed into that big road. Alright, so we've got nighttime shots of the city. Always fun, and this has all fully come online. Backfill any gaps that might be there. And yeah, it's going to be a case of them all moving in. Goes a train. Has he got anyone on board? Not really. This is what it looks like with the European set. So get a obligatory screen grab. As you can see, they're all trying to get into the car park. Because I don't think these guys have parking. No, they don't. Which is also why I kept the buses away from it. Although that's going to equally jam the buses. And I should not have coaches. Oh, he's returning home. Yeah, that's all them filling in their spots. So that's okay. Moving in's always fun. Not. Ah, they love Okay, that's going to be a bit congested while everyone's moving in. It always is. So again, we just let it run. So this has been 4.1, a review and some quick fire expansion. Obviously we need to still do a lot more. Employed jobs, still going to get those numbers up, so still need a lot more residential to get us going. But let's just see what happens. We did a quick drive across the city, and me getting lost in my own city. Whew, not a good thing. And yeah, we'll continue saying I've got to do a lot of work off screen because I've got to get things like the port and that set up because we're over the limit threshold now to get it going, and we can start looking to get the demand under control, start getting the city centre going. But I still need to do quite a lot of work to do. As you can see, we're still very, very short of workers. So a lot more residential to do first before, and getting the cargo lined up. So it's all fun and games, but we'll get it done. And so 5.0, I'll decide whether to get the port online with residential, or we look at... No, I'll get the port online first before moving over, and then get some more residential, basically filling in along here. Which is fine, because I've got the railway stations and the bus and the metro to get us all going. I am Palpatine001, aka the Senate. This has been Waikato with 4.1. Urban expansion, transport expansion, bit of a review, and getting ready for the next big expansion phase, starting with more residential and getting the port into place.